Hello, I'm Clark Farley, and this is the 20-minute real estate briefing. I did say I'm Clark Farley. What you might notice missing on your screen is my co-host, Denise Fasara. Denise is not feeling well, and it's in the voice area, so not talking is part of a recovery process, healing, kind of a cold. Oh, remind me not to move around too much in my seat because I just discovered just before I clicked live that the seat itself squeaks, and that would be kind of distracting. So let me get onto the script. Bear with me. There will be parts of this thing that I will be looking down at the script because I don't normally say it. Let's see how we do. All right, click this. So 20-minute real estate briefing live from the Westerly office of Randall Realtors in Westerly, Rhode Island. And we invite people since like last December to come and join us as we share our insights and experiences, tips and tactics that we've both acquired over a number of years of practicing real estate. It's all designed to help buyers and sellers be better at what they're trying to do. Remember to hit, this is still in Denise's part of the script, remember to hit the subscribe button. And we're at a number of locations. Of course, we're here on the Facebook. This is also being simulcast, I'll bet we'll say that, simulcast to YouTube, and it'll be live. And I know some of our viewers do go over there to watch the live part. So we're over there. We invite you to like and subscribe in that place. I believe we're on Twitter. Whatever that's good for. And we're also do things in social media such as the Instagram. I'm using the article because, as you can see, I'm an older person, and we always put the article in front of anything new or strange. On the Instagram, we always make a point to talk about that. We have a feature. Twice weekly feature called Where in South County Are We? And in that, we post photos of landmarks in South County. Now, for any new viewers, South County is the local term for Washington County, which is pretty much North Kingston South, the lower half of the state, if you will. We put up pictures on Thursdays. We put them up on Sundays. And invite people to identify where that is. Now, I wrote a note just for tonight because Denise isn't here to kick me under the table here. We have 65 followers on our Instagram. Where in South County are we? It'll be found if you're looking for us, Coastal New England Real Estate Team. Kind of like to see that in triple digits by the end of this summer. So take a moment. Go to Instagram, find us, let us know, and we've got the contact here. Let us know if you have any difficulty doing that so that you can follow Where in South County Are We? Also tell your friends and relatives. More about that new feature at the end of this broadcast. Okay, so let me make sure I've got comments on. Okay, I do have that. And hold on a second here. Get rid of this. Okay. So getting further into the introduction, I am moving my chair too much. Share and tell your friends, etc. If you have topics that you'd like to hear us address or discuss, by all means, let us know. Now we're into the area of where I'm normally talking, and I'm usually at this point saying something to the effect of how this was in fact, I was telling somebody the other day about 20-minute briefing. And the idea was that Denise and I, have worked together a number of years and have at times done things like buyer seminars back in the day. And they were fun. They were well organized and good response. Fast forward to post-pandemic time and looking for something to do, the suggestion was made, well, let's do something online. Because everybody does stuff online, social media specifically. And then the fatal mistake was made, why don't we do something live on Facebook? And here we are, 6 or so months later. And it's been interesting, educational, and actually fun for us. And we trust that those of you out there are enjoying it as much as we do. Hold on a second here. I have to watch my comments. So if somebody writes a question, then I'll be able to respond to it. This week we have for a topic condominiums and inferentially condominium living. The topic, I think I was supposed to have said something about each week. The topics are geared towards buyers and sellers. And the underlying rationale is we're experienced agents, and rather than give you a book or direct you to a video about A through Z on buying or selling a house, we would share our experiences in said buying and selling of houses. Just because in a context, it often can be more relatable and more enjoyable. So that's what brings us this week to the topic of condominiums, buying and selling. So we're going to break it down, or I'm going to break it down into two categories of buyers. We'll focus mostly on the buyers. They would be first-time buyers choosing to purchase a condominium, and the downsize buyer. And look at there's a couple of different challenges of confronting those two types of buyers. And I think I should talk about, according to my notes, I'm supposed to wait for the stats. This is where Denise is silently screaming at home, getting better from her cold, because I'm going to do something like, look, I've got statistics. But it was interesting. Leading up to this, I thought I'd look up how many condominiums are available in our South County area. And regular viewers know from our Monday commercials that we further define South County into the market of $500,000 and under in terms of list price. So I applied that, and I went searching for how many condos could these hypothetical buyers choose from. And the answer is 7. Is right now in the MLS, there are 7 condominiums for sale. What the hell? That seems to me kind of low. So naturally, I went looking historically. Or I researched historically, and it's probably not the right way to say it. See what the level was, because we all know that while the level of single-family houses was exceptionally low recently, it's beginning to creep up. And there's a truism about condominiums in real estate is that they tend to lag behind. Oh, I'll stop now and respond to a comment. Hello. I was to Phyllis. Thank you for commenting in. They lag. Condos have always tended to lag behind single families in price and supply. So I went back and looked at just last year in 2000, whatever it was, there were 109 condos under that same search criteria, 709. That's a drop. You go back further in time and it goes way higher. I mean, I went back to 2016. Supply was way, way bigger than it is currently. So I thought that would be interesting. I trust everyone else will agree. So we've got a smaller supply to buyers. The advice we have on buying in that kind of a market would apply condo, single family house. So let's address our 2 types of buyers. Let me scroll down because I'm reading from a script. So to the first time buyer, in our experience collectively, and I'll use the plural because then I can blame Denise for any misstatements. She's not able to say, no, I didn't say that. As to the first time buyer, what we find often is that first time buyers are drawn to condominiums on the price point. Very often they'll see 2 bedrooms, 1.5 baths at a price much less than a standalone single family house would be. And that's kind of true. But then that's where the experience of condo living comes into play. Oh, okay. Hold on a second. My co-host, hello, Denise. I guess I can do this. Anyway, where was I? Somebody comment. Okay, so on the single family, on the first time buyer rather, very often they will look to that, and the demographic is interesting. It'll tend to be first time buyers, single person, single couple, and looking at the houses. Okay, we'll get this because this is more affordable than a single family house. We as agents will always help our clients to see, well, it's a different experience to own a condominium as opposed to a standalone house. We'll ask questions of the buyers. This is part of the script. Do you like to mow grass? Do you like to cut lawn? Do you like to paint the house? Plant a garden? Actually, that's a very real thing. And the touch of humor here was, would you look forward to breeding large dogs? All of those things disqualify condominiums from being the right choice for a person doing that, because the primary trade-off, if you will, has to do with the limitations on what you can do with the property. And I don't want to get technical, that there's common areas and you own the unit from the walls inside. It's kind of cool. They'll vary slightly. Some condominiums say that you own the walls inside. I had a condo recently in Hopkinton where you own the paint inside. Now you may laugh. If I could hear you, you'd laugh. That seems to be a subtle difference, but it actually made a difference in this case. I had a property, it was a condominium, and it was a bank-owned property, and there were repairs indicated, and the question became one of whether the seller wanted to do repairs or not, and there was a leak in the ceiling, and they would not pay for paint. They would pay the condo association to replace the sheetrock that was wet and damaged, but they wouldn't pay to paint it. So I'm kind of getting off track. This is where Denise is always very helpful. So first-time buyers, consider the experience. If you like the idea of very little exterior maintenance, no landscaping, just living in it, kind of semi-apartment-like very often, unless you're in a townhouse, and even there, it's with a couple of exceptions here in South County. They're all, what's the word for put together as opposed to standalone. There's actually a couple of condo developments that are standalone single units, and those are as close to a single family as you'll get in condominiums. So I'm keeping my eye on the time here. Oh, okay. The second group we would talk to, or the second group of buyers that we most frequently encounter, would be the couple who are downsizing, choosing to downsize either because the house is now too large and too much upkeep, or you'll see people buying, switching the single family here in our location, South County, and choosing to buy a small condo. Good anticipation of that. Denise is anticipating a point. And just as she does in person, she's destroyed my train of thought. Where was I? I was talking about downsizing. Yes. Whether they want to do that. So they'll look at condos. That's the alternative. What Denise is referring to in the comments, because I believe you can see that as well. First floor master bedrooms. Not to pigeonhole a person who is downsizing as being not young. The desire for a first floor master bedroom is strong with some segments of buyers. Condominiums hardly ever have those. For a number of different reasons. You will find them on occasion, but they're more the exception than the rule. The other thing that I had in my notes to talk about for the downsizer to take into consideration is the what they're moving from. And now downsizing of a 4-bedroom, 2-bath house. Okay, that's an easy one. It makes sense to have something with a smaller square footage. But Denise had pointed out when we talked about this earlier in the week that there's furniture considerations when you're looking at a smaller house of any sort. But there's also volume of things that a person owns, especially, own a single family house, especially if you have a garage and a basement, you tend to have a lot of stuff. Condominiums will almost always include some form of storage, but nowhere near the same thing. So we always advise clients to take a look around, not just at the house, look in the basement, look in the garage, look in that area up above where you hide the Christmas ornaments. Those are all factors that go into the weighing the advantage of condominiums against perhaps a smaller, simpler single-family house. The amenities are all apply to both parties that we're talking about. The South County is funny in that they vary. Condo developments will vary in the variety of amenities, but they're simpler. One or two places have pools. The one in Hopkinton I mentioned, they had a pool. You look at amenities not just from the attractiveness of them, but also as a factor to upkeep. Upkeep means condo fees, HOA fees. So both parties, once you've gotten to the point, both types of buyers, will now get to that. Hold on a second. Take a break. Considering how much I'm talking, geez, I've been talking for 17 minutes, which means I better hurry up, take this thing home. So, all right, let's say you're one of those two groups or neither one, and you've decided, okay, I do want to consider a condominium to purchase. The good thing about Rhode Island is specifically that we have experience with is that the MLS purchase and sales agreement does include a condo doc inspection contingency. I suspect all places except for Idaho would include that kind of contingencies because condo docs and association bylaws, you'll hear both terms and they're kind of similar but slightly different things, are the key bit of information you can get about a condominium. A side note, as agents, we love to go to inspections for condominiums because basically you're doing the walls in, a quick, easy, simple. That's why we like them. But when it comes to the association rules, really, really important. And I've got a cynical note about if your agent says, don't worry about it, read it anyway. See it in the condo docs, because if it's not in writing, as they say in the condo docs, then it doesn't count. It doesn't matter what, and you may drive around and see Great Danes on the common ground, and somebody's saying, this is my dog. And you got to see it in the condo docs, because that's not only the basis for it, it's in right. You got to have that. I guess I'm making that. What did Denise had something about the idea of what something permits or what a condo association may or may not permit. Dan, you still there, Denise? You want to comment on that? Common own. So you've got common areas. You watch for the parking, but mostly after you've gone into the unit and you look at it and you walk around and you decide, yeah, I like this place. I'm going to put an offer. You may need to wait to have a fully executed agreement. You have a deal to get the condo docs. Yeah, Denise, you were saying something alongside what I was saying about pet. For instance, pets are a big thing, and a lot of them do permit pets of a certain size. I'll categorize them as small and medium, but you need to see that in writing. You need to see that in the bylaws. You can also have your attorney review it, which is a very good idea. So that's pretty much. And then when you've gone through that, like I was referring to, you do the inspection just like a regular house, and you close seller's note. And I want to thank my co-host for reminding me that I'm going long, which is odd because I was concerned about running short. So thank you for joining me and Denise down in the comment section for this week's 20-minute briefing. Hey, something new here. If you're in sound of my voice and you are considering selling your house, or know somebody considering selling their house, or if you need some specific questions answered on buying a house and you don't have an agent already, give us a call. Let me put that up here. Or email. Let us know. I mean, we're doing this for that reason. We'll be glad to help. If you have somebody who says, boy, I'm going to sell the house. I wish I had an agent that had a television show or something like it. Then give us a call. And now I've totally gone over. So thank you for joining us. And we will see you next time. Bye.